When an investor puts his money in, they're risking all of the money they put into it with no guarantee of a return whatsoever. So something to consider, when you're looking at that entrepreneur, you're looking at the CEO, you're looking at the president, the person that you are basically getting that paycheck from if you're a W-2. You could be looking at that individual and saying, listen, like I'm making 50, 60, $70,000, maybe $100,000 a year, but my president is making $800,000 a year, or 3 or 4 times the amount that I'm making. Keep in mind, and something I want you to consider, is the amount of money that they make is in relation to the risk that they had to take on, and of course of the responsibility. One of the things that you give up as a W-2 employee is you give up the upside of money, and you get with that security, and that you'll have that job that comes in 9 to 5. You come in, you clock out, that's it. Most people go to work, they work their 8 hours, they don't really think a whole lot about it beforehand or afterwards. That entrepreneur, that CEO, is thinking about that business 24/7, 365. In addition to that, and I want to use myself as an example here, you may own a restaurant, and that restaurant, I may earn $250,000 from it. My manager might only make $75,000 from it, and then all the employees obviously going to be significantly less. And on the flip side, you can look at it and say, hey, maybe instead of you making 250,000, maybe you make double, but you shouldn't be making that much money. You should be paying your employees more because they're the ones that are actually producing it. And that's true, aside from the fact that they missed on all the other businesses that I did that didn't work out. So we opened up a cafe in the North Georgia Premium Outlets. And while the concept worked and while the profitability was there and people loved the product and all of that, we opened it right during the COVID in the beginning, when the mall completely shut down and business dropped to zero. After, being open for a couple of months and things were going really well, that shutdown really just after a while got us sidetracked. It was something we didn't want to go back to, given that, the uncertainty, we didn't want to sign a lease, whatever. Long story short, we lost about $40,000 in that particular deal. So as an entrepreneur and as a W-2 employee, you may not necessarily always appreciate what that particular president or that CEO did to get to the point where they were. How many businesses did they have that worked out and that didn't work out? How many businesses did they put $50,000 into and it didn't work out? When an investor puts his money in, they're risking all of the money they put into it with no guarantee of a return whatsoever. So I could put $50,000 into a business, and what if I never get that? What if I never get that income back? I just eat it? Well, yeah, you would per se. So something you need to think about. And the reason why there's such a difference between the founders of companies and how much they make, it's the risk that they put into it. And I'm talking about your local small business. And another example, like we put $1 million into our other restaurant, I may make 240,000. I have to work in that business day in and day out, 365, always be thinking about for 4 years until I even get the original investment back on that. Then 4 years from now, then I'll start to get some of that benefit and that return of going, hey, I've gotten some return on investment. But for 4 years, I'm not getting any return on investment whatsoever. Something to think about.